a brutal 27-year struggle that would determine the fate of Greek civilization itself. Most people think they know this story, but what really happened goes far beyond the Hollywood version you might imagine. This war had plot twists that would make modern political thrillers look predictable, betrayals that cut deeper than any sword, and strategic brilliance that military academies still study today. Let me take you back to 431 BCE, when the Mediterranean world was about to witness something unprecedented. Athens had built an empire through naval dominance and clever diplomacy, collecting tribute from hundreds of city-states across the Aegean Sea. They had money, culture, and the most powerful navy the world had ever seen. Meanwhile, Sparta controlled the Peloponnese through pure military intimidation, commanding an army so feared that enemies would sometimes surrender just hearing Spartan warriors were approaching. The tension had been building for years. Athens kept expanding their influence, threatening the delicate balance of power that had kept Greece relatively stable. Sparta watched nervously as Athenian wealth and ambition grew. The final spark came from an unlikely source, a dispute over Corcyra, a strategic island that both powers wanted to control. Here's where it gets interesting. Most wars are won by whoever has the better army, right? Wrong. This conflict became the ultimate chess match between completely different strategies. Athens decided to play defense, pulling their entire population behind massive walls that connected the city to their port. Their plan was brilliant in its simplicity. Let the Spartans ravage the countryside, while Athens used their naval supremacy to strike coastal targets and wait for their enemies to exhaust themselves. Sparta's strategy was equally logical, but totally opposite. They would invade Athenian territory every spring, destroying crops and terrorizing the population, forcing Athens to either come out and fight or slowly starve behind their walls. It should have worked, but Athens had something Sparta didn't expect: incredible resilience and almost unlimited resources from their maritime empire. The first phase of the war saw this cat-and-mouse game play out exactly as planned, until disaster struck Athens in the most unexpected way possible. A devastating plague swept through the overcrowded city, killing roughly 1/3 of the population, including their brilliant leader Pericles. Suddenly, Athens found themselves leaderless and desperate, but somehow they kept fighting. What happened next reveals the true character of both civilizations. Athens, despite their losses, launched one of the most audacious military campaigns in ancient history, the Sicilian expedition. They sent a massive fleet to conquer Syracuse, a wealthy city in Sicily that could tip the balance of power permanently in their favor. This wasn't just ambitious, it was absolutely insane in scope and ambition. The Sicilian disaster became Athens' greatest nightmare. Their entire expedition was annihilated, with thousands of soldiers either killed or enslaved in brutal conditions. Ships, money, and irreplaceable military experience all vanished in one catastrophic defeat. Sparta couldn't believe their luck. Their greatest enemy had essentially destroyed themselves through overreach and hubris. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. Even after this devastating blow, Athens refused to surrender. They scraped together new fleets, found new allies, and continued fighting for another decade. Their determination was so fierce that Sparta actually started questioning whether they could ever truly defeat such resilient opponents. The final act came when Sparta did something completely against their traditional values. They allied with Persia, their ancient enemy, to get the money needed to build a competitive navy. This partnership gave them the resources to finally challenge Athenian sea power directly. The decisive moment arrived at Aegospotami in 405 BCE, where Spartan naval forces completely surprised and destroyed the Athenian fleet. Without ships, Athens couldn't feed their population or maintain their empire. After 27 years of unprecedented warfare, the greatest democracy in the ancient world finally surrendered. The aftermath changed everything. Sparta's victory was complete but hollow. They had won by abandoning their own principles and accepting Persian gold. Within decades, both civilizations would fall to new powers, their strength exhausted by this titanic struggle that nobody truly won.